What did ancient humans do when someone got sick or injured? Picture this. It's 50,000 years ago.
You're out hunting with a few friends when things go very badly. You slip on a rock, smash your leg, and suddenly you've got a problem.
There's no ambulance, no hospital, no pharmacy, no antibiotics, and you certainly can't call your boss and say, "I'm working from home for the next 2 weeks." So what happens? Do your fellow humans carry you back to camp and look after you? Do they try to fix your leg? Or do they simply look at you, look at the approaching wolves, and say, "Well, good luck with that"? The answer is actually far more fascinating than you might think. Because archaeological evidence suggests that ancient humans, including Neanderthals, could be remarkably good at looking after sick and injured members of their group, and in some cases, they appear to have been doing things that look surprisingly like primitive medicine. Now, obviously, we don't have a Stone Age medical handbook called The Ancient Guide to Fixing Your Broken Leg, so archaeologists have to work backwards from human remains. And one of the most remarkable examples is a Neanderthal known as Shanidar I. He lived tens of thousands of years ago in what is now Iraq. At some point in his life, this man had an absolutely terrible run of luck. He suffered a serious injury to the head that probably damaged or blinded his left eye. His right arm became badly withered, and he also appears to have had problems with one of his legs. Yet he survived for years. Think about what that means. This was a hunter-gatherer society. There was no supermarket nearby. Food had to be gathered, hunted, carried, and prepared. A badly disabled person would have struggled to do all of that alone. The fact that Shanidar I survived suggests that other people were probably helping him, providing food, protection, and assistance. And that tells us something important. Ancient human survival wasn't necessarily every person for themselves. Quite the opposite. Looking after one another may actually have been part of how humans survived. Imagine breaking your ankle 60,000 years ago. You're not chasing a deer anywhere. You're basically sitting beside the fire saying, "Could someone please bring me something to eat?" If your group abandons you, you're in serious trouble. But if they bring you food, protect you, and allow your body time to heal, you might eventually recover and become useful to the group again. And we have bones showing people surviving some pretty nasty injuries. That healing is the giveaway. If archaeologists find a badly broken bone that healed while the person was still alive, then somehow that person survived long enough for their body to repair itself. That doesn't prove exactly what treatment they received. But with severe injuries, survival may have required help from other people. And then we get to something even more remarkable: surgery. In Borneo, archaeologists discovered the skeleton of a young person who lived at least 31,000 years ago. The lower part of their left leg had been deliberately amputated. Not ripped off by an animal. Not shattered in an accident. Surgically removed. Even more astonishingly, the person survived the operation and lived for years afterwards. Researchers argue this would have required considerable knowledge and skill, including controlling bleeding and caring for the wound afterwards. Just think about that. 31,000 years ago, somebody apparently looked at a seriously damaged leg and effectively said, "That needs to come off." And someone else presumably replied, "All right, what are we using?" You would hope there was a little more planning than that. But this discovery completely challenges the idea that prehistoric humans were simply wandering around hitting things with rocks. Some of them clearly had accumulated knowledge. They knew things, and knowledge could be passed from one generation to another. Perhaps someone in the group knew how to stop bleeding. Someone knew how to set or support an injured limb. Someone knew which plants appeared to reduce pain or make somebody feel better. There is even intriguing evidence suggesting some Neanderthals consumed plants such as yarrow and chamomile, although archaeologists debate whether this definitely proves deliberate self-medication. And that's an important point. We shouldn't imagine some Neanderthal doctor wandering around with a little medical bag saying, "Take 2 of these herbs and come back Wednesday."
They didn't understand bacteria, viruses, or modern anatomy. If someone developed a serious infection, pneumonia or appendicitis, their options were obviously extremely limited.
A small cut that we'd fix today with antiseptic and maybe antibiotics could become life-threatening. Childbirth could be dangerous. A tooth infection could become a major problem. And if you were bitten by an animal or suffered a severe internal injury, there might simply have been nothing anyone could do. But ancient humans didn't necessarily just give up. Humans observe things. Someone gets injured. Someone tries something. Maybe it works. The next time somebody suffers the same injury, people remember. And gradually, you begin building knowledge. Not medicine as we'd recognize it today, but experience, tradition, and perhaps the beginnings of healthcare. There is even evidence of prehistoric people deliberately making holes in human skulls in a procedure known as trepanation. And here's the amazing part. Some skulls show significant healing around the opening, meaning the person survived the procedure. Now, exactly why they were doing this varied and remains debated. But imagine volunteering for Stone Age brain surgery. Someone walks towards you holding a sharpened stone. At that point, you're probably reconsidering whether the headache was really that bad. Yet, people survived. And perhaps the biggest lesson isn't actually about medicine at all. It's about human relationships. Because one of the things that helped ancient humans survive wasn't just bigger brains, better weapons, or better hunting techniques. It was other humans. If you broke your leg, somebody could feed you. If you became sick, somebody could stay with you. If you were injured, somebody could protect you. Researchers studying prehistoric caregiving argue that caring for sick and injured individuals has deep evolutionary roots and may itself have improved group survival. So the next time you picture ancient humans, don't just imagine a group of tough hunters chasing mammoths across the landscape. Imagine someone sitting beside an injured friend, bringing them food, helping them move, perhaps cleaning a wound, perhaps trying a plant that had helped someone else before, and hoping they survived another night. Because tens of thousands of years before hospitals, doctors, and pharmacies existed, humans had already discovered one of the most important medical technologies we've ever had, each other. And that might be one of the biggest reasons we're still here today. If you enjoyed this journey into everyday prehistoric life, like this video, place a comment below and subscribe to this channel for more.